My name is Elyce Abrams. I'm an abstract painter from Philadelphia. I was born in South Africa, but I've lived in Philadelphia most of my life. Well, I think the bigger works are newer, and they're a progression from this work behind me that was a starting point that I was thinking about abstract painting, and then they progressed, and the forms have changed and the structure has changed, and then the bigger works are the newer works, and that's where that's the direction I'm heading. I always work on a lot of paintings at once. My process is layering the paint. So I start out layering the first layer on all the paintings, maybe 5 or 6 paintings, and then adding color and scraping away, and I like to go back and forth between paintings and see how they'll develop, and then they develop on their own. I'm influenced by the landscape and from the environment around me, so whatever that environment is, and I think about my experience within that environment and how that's shaped by my feelings and memories of it, and that's a jumping off point for me. And then I look at a lot of contemporary artists and painters and sculptors and look for colors that might affect me, and sometimes bring that into my work.
In terms of being an artist, though, in working it in with my other responsibilities as a husband, as a father, with having a job, it's one of those things where I make art when I can. I fit it in wherever I can because I'm passionate about it. But time doesn't always allow me to work on it 8, 10, 12 hours a day. Most of the works here are the same. I mean, they tackle the same ideas, they're executed very similarly, they're maybe different scales. This is the biggest painting behind me that I've ever made, so this was very ambitious for me, being 4 foot by 7 feet long. As you can no doubt tell, that the shapes of the pieces break free of the traditional picture plane, the rectangle, or the square format. The reason for that is my work historically has been very concrete, where I create these paintings that it's all there. It's defined for the viewer. When you look at it, you see it, you get it, it's done. And so with this new body of work, I wanted to sort of allow for some questions from the viewer. I'm not addressing any important subjects. It's not about socioeconomic issues. It's not political. It's not anything like that. It's more like why? What was the origination of the form? Why are there pieces missing? So in this piece, there's a chunk missing from the bottom and from the top. Where did those go? Why were they removed? What function do they serve, if there is any purpose? Could this have been a huge rectangle initially? Did the lines connect all the way around the piece? Was it damaged? Was it outside? Was it a sign? Just all of these potential histories for the work. Was it being carried and dropped in the corner, busted? And I wanted to save the piece, so I cut out the corner. I cut out maybe an imperfect spot, or maybe I made a mistake and I wanted to remove my mistake. I know the answer to all those questions, and it's not nearly as elaborate as I say, but it opens up the possibility. It opens up some viewer interaction, because the missing pieces from the corners or in the center of the piece, the viewer can just naturally connect the whole piece. You form the rectangle, or you form the square in your mind, and I sort of like that the viewer has some work to do. What's here is here, but when the viewer interacts with it, there's more to it. It's not purely defined for them. There's some play there. It's a little bit of a game. It's a little bit of a joke, but I like that I've broken free of being so concrete, so defined, so rigid in my practice, that it's now a little give and take with the viewer. I don't think there is a role. I think an artist is somebody who makes art. That's the simple definition. In terms of your role, each artist has a different place. And by showing in New York, by showing within this dialogue, I've thought a lot about this. I get asked about competition. Do I feel like I compete against other artists? And I don't at all. I feel like we're all just trying to find our place. And it's not that we're trying to reach a global audience, we're trying to reach the audience who cares about this work. And it's about having a dialogue with those people. There are some artists who tackle political issues, who want to change the world with their work. Other artists want to make pretty paintings. This is what I'm interested in, so my role is to create this, to bring forward this vision that I have, and then find those people who care about that, and sort of have a mutually beneficial relationship with them.